Hello, all of you beautiful people, and welcome back or welcome to the Voice of Reality podcast. As we know, we are here with all the real talk, with all the good stuff as well. And I'm actually really, really excited about this week's podcast because it's a little bit of a newer topic that I haven't actually scratched on before. And it was only, I think, about 2 weeks ago, I was talking about this with one of my friends, and I was like, do you know what? I think that she actually didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like, this is wild to me. I thought everyone knew this. So it really kind of brought it to the surface where I was like, we need to chat about this because people need to be knowing what's going on. And as well as that, I just feel like it's something a little bit different. And as females, this is one that we all need to listen to and we all need to tune into. And I'm really, really excited about that. So hello and welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Like, this might be your first episode, so thank you for tuning in. Hello, I'm Rachel, and this is the Voice of Reality podcast. Or you might be back, so welcome back, and thank you so much for coming back and for choosing to listen and to be here today. Like, genuinely, I absolutely love, love, love having anyone just tuning in and just being able to help anyone at all. Like, it's so nice when I do get comments on Instagram or on literally emails sometimes, just about people really finding these podcasts and episodes useful. Clients are always coming to me and just letting me know how useful the podcasts actually are. And genuinely, when I started, I didn't really know how little people knew and how much information people needed. So it's really nice to be able to sit here with you all and give you the information that genuinely I wish I had as I grew up. And I'm not saying that we're all growing up. Well, we are. Sorry. We're all as young as we feel. But I just mean that's where it really comes from and that's where it really stems from for me is like what did I need to know as I grew up? Because we did, like, let's be real, we did grow up in a bit of a hazy time when diet culture and training and all of that was not in a good way. Do you know what I mean? It was not in a good way. And we were very much so living through the toxic traits of all of that. So I really tried to find inspiration in that and what we all needed as we came through that time and what we all need now, because realistically now we're only kind of getting the backlash of that, and our mindsets have been so tuned and our narratives have been so tuned to what we were consuming as we grew up and as we were smaller. And like, it was what was on TV, all I know anyway, what I was seeing on TV and in magazines and newspapers and all of the likes. It's crazy because we wouldn't have had like phones and social media then, but what we were consuming and what I know I was seeing was Toxicana. Like, it was wild. And no wonder we all think the way we think, feel the way we feel, and have the most little of information on what's actually right and what actually is needed and what actually should be done. Instead, we just are consumed by like the negativity and the toxic vibes that we were given. So, yes, we're here to unwire that. We are here to unwire that, and we're here to bring more positivity to life and just bring more real talk into this space and into this zone. I myself am a online women's health and fitness coach, and I am very, like, extremely passionate about this. And this is why I wanted to become a coach, because I want to quite literally rewire the brains of females. I want to help rewrite that narrative. And if there is any kind of hope for me to step in and to try and like just reroute the course, so give you some knowledge, give you that kind of power back and that confidence back that you really, really want, that's exactly what I want to be able to do. So this is one thing, right? My other friend I was talking to yesterday, and I was only saying like, oh, had a nap there before I came. She was like, I just cannot get on board with naps. Like, what? Like, how do people nap? So I need to know. I was a bit bewildered because I need to know, like, are we all nap queens out here? Is it just me? Is it just me? I'm actually a bit confused because I thought everyone was having naps on the sly, do you know? Now, one thing I will say is I don't have them every day, but one way for me to know that I am coming hard into my luteal phase or if I'm due my period, I will need a nap. Like there's no doubt about it. Like there's no like ifs or buts, like will I not? Like I'll just sleep standing up. Like I will just fall asleep at any given moment. And yesterday was one of those times, like I was literally sitting on the bed and then next of all about, now to be fair, it was only about 30 minutes later, I woke up in a different dimension. And I was like, whoa, how did that happen? Because my body was like, bitch, we are literally, I think I'm 4 days out for my period, 4/5 days out for my period. And as soon as I woke up, I was like, that makes so much sense. And it's just one of those things that when my body is gearing up for the period itself, a nap is needed. Also had a nap today. And yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but I need to know, when I said that to my friend, that she was literally like, what? People actually nap? Like, what's going on with that? What? Do we all not nap? I need to know the verdict here. You need to either be nodding along, being like, yes, I am an absolute nap queen, or maybe you're on the boat where you just cannot get in on that. There is some people though that just could not imagine napping. Like my partner, I don't think he's probably ever napped a day in his life. And maybe it's such a girl thing though, I don't know. But like, why do men nap? But I just can't imagine that. Do you know what I mean? And genuinely, my partner, like, he's just never napped a day in his life. And I'm just like, you know, how how'd you get through that when you're tired and you just need a little pick me up? Now the only thing is I don't drink as much caffeine as him, so maybe that's why. Maybe that's why as well. I actually, on that note of naps, and it does, because I think some people might not actually take naps and things like that because they just feel like they're being lazy or whatever. But I still get all my shit done, you best believe. Okay. And maybe that's why I actually need a nap, because there's so much needed to be did that I actually need a little time out every now and again. I actually had a reel up though on being lazy throughout the week there. And this reel, right? I was actually so nervous putting it up because I didn't want to offend people. But then I was like, sometimes those things that maybe I wasn't afraid to say it, like I could say it to someone that, wants me to say it to them. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes those things that offend people, it is because people don't want to hear it. A lot of the time, it's the cold, honest, it's the truth, like, but they just don't want to hear it, or maybe they don't want to hear it at that moment on that day. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I should put this up because, like, do people want to hear this? But yeah, that's on my Instagram, and it's just a reel on basically calling out people's bullshit. Okay. And for me, a massive thing that I see now, this is 99% of the time. Sometimes I'm very aware that this might not be the case, but a massive thing that I see as a coach, hopping on calls, people just chatting to me in my DMs, even through my friends, so much that I see is that people will make 101 excuses as to why to not do something. But really, the main reason is because they're just lazy. Like they're just lazy. And if you genuinely want something, right? And if you have that goal in mind, please know that you can achieve it, and you will achieve it, and you can. And I'm not saying that you might do it in an hour, that you'll do it today, you'll do it tomorrow. Like it might take time and effort and hard work. And a lot of the time that is the case. A lot of the time it is that it's actually going to take effort and hard work and consistency and time. And that's why people won't go ahead and do the things that they want to do or that they wish for or the goals that they have in place, because they're like, oh, effort, hard work, consistency, the stress of that's being lazy. So it's not that you don't have time. It's not that, oh, you have a hair appointment or your sister's cousin twice removed ask you to come and count socks with them. Like it's not any of the excuses that you're making up. It's genuinely down to the fact that you're too lazy and you actually don't want to put in the hard work and the effort. And I hope that if there is someone listening to this that genuinely needs to hear that, I hope you're taking that on board. It's very important to acknowledge and take accountability for what you're actually doing instead of trying to mask it, because all of these excuses are just masking the fact that you're being lazy. No one wants to be called lazy. No one wants to be called lazy. You don't want to call yourself lazy. So take accountability. If it is the case that you're just being lazy, own it. And then get out of that rut that you're in, because the laziness needs to stop. The laziness is not something that we want to bring with us for the rest of our life. Now, as I said, I'm very aware that this is 99% of the time. There is some people and some cases that maybe it genuinely is just that they can't actually do something and all of the likes, and we're aware of that as well. But a lot of the time it's down to the pure, simple fact that you're being lazy. Okay? And we need to overcome that hump and that barrier. And that's why I'm calling it out. And that's why I want everyone to take that in, because, we want to move forward now. We want to move forward with our lives, and we don't want to no one wants to be called lazy. No one wants to call themselves lazy. I ain't calling anyone lazy. I need you to do that for yourself. I need you to take accountability for yourself. And if the shoe is fitting right now, that's not on me. If the shoe is fitting, that's not on me. Okay? Another thing that I actually do want to talk about really quickly is that we have launched this week our power group shoot. Our power group shoot is in June. And girls, the power group shoot, right? I don't think I could come into this episode without mentioning it, because this is one of the best days for me as a coach. Oh my God, like it is magic. It's like magic upon magic. But this is one of the best days, and I can honestly say this with so much conviction, my whole chest. Like, I know that, prove me wrong, but this is one of the best days of your lives. Okay, I genuinely cannot explain. If I could bottle up the feeling, right? If I could bottle up the feeling and just give you a whiff of it, you would want to sign up like this very second. The power shoots, the weekends, the days, the shoots in themselves are the most empowering, magical days I've ever experienced for me as a coach, watching on and seeing you all, but for every single one of the girls that actually experience it and does the shoot, and also gets to like be around everyone else doing it too. I get to meet you all, I get to see you all, we get to share that weekend together. And there's something so amazing about us all coming together on our own individual journeys and being able to represent that on that day, representing your goals, your journey, who you are, the process. And it's just so, so magical and empowering. And the confidence that that you literally step into, right, from these days. Like, I just wish, as I said, I wish I could back it up. I wish I could bottle it up, and I wish I could just be like, look, I swear to you, I'm not lying. Like, just have a look at this. I've proven it. But the only way for me to prove it to you all is for you to experience it, like, genuinely. And I have not. We have done 3 of these days now over the past year. This is going to be our 4th power shoot. And I have genuinely yet to meet one person who has done it. One person that has done it, that is to say to me, God, I really didn't like that and I don't want to do it again. Every single person's like, I'm going to do another one, or maybe wants to do their own individual one, or has literally signed up for the next shoot as soon as the other one is over. Every single person has said how their confidence has grown, how they have changed as a person, how they have stepped into a completely different light and into a completely different mindset about themselves from one singular day. Now, I always say the day itself is like the victory lap of what we do together. But there is a process behind it, of course. Like, you are working hard on yourself for months leading up to it. You're working hard on yourself. You're bringing your goals to life. Maybe you're changing your physique, which a lot of the girls are. You're changing your physique and you're working on goals when it comes to your physique. Maybe you are just changing your mindset and how you view food and how you view training. Maybe you're a new time gym goer, and that's a massive goal. Maybe you're working on your health. Maybe you have PCOS, endometriosis, or anything of the like, so you want to work on your hormonal health. I've had so many girls do the shoot that have actually gotten their cycle into a working cycle, and they do the shoot to represent that they are finally in a more powerful position that they have ever been in before. I have had so many reasons why behind women doing this shoot. I have had mammies doing the shoot that want to prove to their daughters or their little ones that, there's so much more to life, and you are so strong and you're so powerful that you can do anything you put your mind to. The last shoot we did, I think we've had the most mammies, and genuinely that's so powerful, because to see people stand up in front of the camera feeling so confident and good in their own skin after giving birth to humans, to actual humans, and sorry, their physiques are so impressive as well, and they're standing up there on business showing their little ones and their kids as well that this is how you do it. Literally, this is how we do it. And as women all coming together and supporting each other, and on the days, the hype, the magic, like genuinely take a shot every time I say magic and parachute together, because that's the only way I can explain it. It's like, it's just simply magical. It's just insane. Um, that, yeah, it's just, I could talk about it all day. I could talk about it all day. But please just know, if you're not there, you're missing out. Like, you're missing out. Like, there's no other way to explain it. And if you do want to inquire about our parachute, or just want any information on it, if you were thinking about doing a photo shoot yourself, please just let me know. I'll leave a link below as well so you can inquire. But a massive thing that I'll always say is, and this is something that I always say to my clients and anyone on the team who's thinking about it, is, okay, there's two things you need to think about. Number one, would you actually like to do the shoot and be there on the day? And is your self-doubt holding you back? Because a lot of the time, what I hear is, and what I see is, people being like, oh my God, no, I couldn't do that. Or, oh my God, no, that's not for me. Like, that's so embarrassing, or I couldn't do that. People will judge me. But really deep down, they want to do this. And they would love to step out of their comfort zone and to do something like this and have such an amazing goal like this to work on. And it's their own self-doubt and it's their own self-narrative that's letting them down and holding them back. And if that's the case, absolutely go for it. If that's the case, you should never allow your mindset and your self-doubt win, because if you are, you're showing them that, okay, you're not capable, when you are. You're showing your self-doubt that you're actually not capable, when you very much so are, and you need to prove it wrong immediately. And another thing that I always say is that it does kind of feel scary. Like, I get that. My first shoot, of course, I was nervous. Like, even when I do shoots now, I'm still nervous. But it's, you're feeling nervous or you're feeling a bit anxious over it because it's new, because you've never done it before. So, of course, you're going to have a bit of questions and a bit of anxiety, being like, oh, I wonder what it's like. I wonder what actually goes on. I wonder how I'm going to feel. I wonder what the day is going to be like. Of course, but not because you're incapable. You can absolutely stand up there on the day and do what you need to do and be confident and be powerful and to feel that hype. You deserve to do that. The second thing that I ask is, maybe it's just something that you've never actually wanted to do, and maybe it's something you never think about, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But if it's the first one, and if it's your self-doubt and your own mindset and negative thoughts holding you back, girl, we need a reality check, because you're proving that right. You're proving that right, and you need to prove it wrong immediately by doing something like this, by stepping out of your comfort zone, by doing hard things, by growing, by actually going through the process and allowing yourself to become that person that doesn't allow their self-doubt to hold them back, literally. So, with all that being said, we are now coming into the main body of our episode and our podcast today. And I'm actually really excited, as I said, about this one, because it is something that I don't think a lot of people actually know about. And today we are talking about body types and body images, and just your body image itself. Especially as being a female, we know that body image is a massive thing that we all struggle with, not struggle with, or we just think about every day, okay? Even if you have a positive body image, you think about your body and how you look probably every day. Okay. So I think going into body types and learning a bit more about that is really going to help and help rewire a lot of our actual brains and our body image itself and how we're viewing ourselves. Because this is something that I need to remind myself a lot of the time as well. And this is something that, well, a lot of you might be nodding along and know what I'm talking about, but I think it is something that a lot of people don't actually know, or maybe we haven't scrubbed up on it in a long time. Because I remember learning this in school, but I genuinely, we literally brushed over it, but it's something that I held in my mind because I was a chronic negative, toxic body image queen back in school. So anything to do with like the body or what was going on, or like body types and what we all looked like, I like locked that into my brain back then. But like, it wasn't massive. I remember like it was something brushed over, but I just remember I locked that in. So there's actually 3 different body types, okay? And when we talk about this, right, I really want us to take it with, like, this is just science based, and this, it's not even like science, it's more so like based off of, like, you know, findings and research, and going through obviously different patterns for females and all of that. And yeah, genetics, hereditary kind of body types and all of that. And I just want it to be the case that we're not taking this as Bible in the sense of we all just go, okay, well, I'm that body shape, so I have no hope and I'm just not going to do anything. Because there's always things that we can do to help, okay? But we need to remember as well that like this isn't just like, it's not a symptom. It's not like something that's wrong with us. It's just body shapes and body types. And we all know it's as clear as day. Visually, we all do have different body types. And there's nothing bad about that. So let's talk about this and let's talk about different shapes and different body types because this is actually something that is known. It's known, right? So there is three main body types. We have the ectomorph, we have the mesomorph, and we have the endomorph. I just want to make sure I'm getting that right. So we have ecto, meso, and endo. And this describes the natural predisposition for like leanness, muscle, fat storage. And yeah, most people are a mix of all of these. You will find that you might mix or you might blur between two or all three of them. But this does kind of make a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you actually hear about them. Now, what I would love for anyone listening to do is, if you are watching me, I'm actually going to pop up, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm going to pop up a picture of the ectomorph, the mesomorph, and the endomorph. And you could, like, I literally will put this picture up, and as clear as day, you'll be able to tell which one you might lean a little bit more towards, or which one or two you might actually maybe have a bit of a mix of. I myself feel like I'll get into that in a second because once I read them out then as well, you'll kind of know, and I'll explain which one I feel like I maybe lean more towards, or yeah, which one I resonate with. So popped up a picture there. As soon as I pick up that or put up that picture, if you're listening, please look it up because then you'll know. You'll visually be able to actually have a representation of what on earth I'm talking about. Okay. So we have three different types. We are going to start off firstly with the ectomorph. Okay. So the characteristics of an ectomorph is it's naturally thin, naturally lanky. We have quite a narrow frame. I'm saying we like I'm in that category, but I am absolutely not. I am absolutely not an ectomorph. That's one thing I know for sure. That's one thing that I could bet a bottom dollar on. She ain't no ectomorph, okay? She is not naturally thin. And I'm not saying that I'm fat either. I'm not saying that I'm overweight either, but I'm not naturally small. Like I'm not. Naturally thin. So sorry, back to it. Ectomorph characteristics. Naturally thin and lanky. A narrow am I okay? A narrow frame, low body fat, difficulty gaining muscle or weight because they have quite a fast metabolism. And they're often described as long and lean, right? So in my head, I'm seeing someone with long limbs, right? So longer kind of limbs, legs, longer arms, and being naturally quite skinny and naturally quite thin. Okay. There is people that are naturally thin. There is people that do find it very tough to gain weight and do have a very fast metabolism. Now, this isn't everyone. And that's why it's also not good to like shame people on that wavelength either that are naturally thin, because genuinely they might be trying to gain weight. They might be trying to gain muscle and it's quite tough. They can, like it will happen, but it might take longer than say someone else or someone that can or might have a slower metabolism. And I talk a lot on my Instagram and just in general on not chasing skinny and not allowing chasing a smaller, thinner frame to come in and bulldoze down your health, basically. Because that's what females do. We chase being skinny, we chase being thin, and next of all, our period's gone missing, our hair's falling out, we don't feel good, we can't sleep, our cortisol is sky high, and it's not good. It's not looking good, right? That I do not agree with. We should not be chasing skinny, but I'm also not skinny shaming, because people that are naturally skinny will probably still have a period, still have all their health intact. They're just naturally skinny, and that's fine. But people that are chasing this look and putting themselves through harm, and literally it's not actually serving them either, because they might not actually look good for it. That's what I'm not on board with at all. So yes, an ectomorph is someone that would be naturally thinner. And I know that as you're listening or watching, you probably can think of someone, like I can think of someone off my head that would definitely fit into this bracket, and would definitely kind of be more on that side where it's harder, or it might take a lot longer to gain that weight or to gain muscle. And it is just down to the metabolism and its genetics and things like that as well. So then we have our mesomorph, which is literally, to me anyway, this would be God's favorite. Okay. This is God's favorite child. This is the one that he said, right, if anything else, you're going to have some good genetics and you're going to look good. Okay. So a mesomorph, characteristics: athletically built, say less. Do you know what I mean? Can lose and gain muscle easily. Medium build, naturally quite strong, has quite an efficient metabolism. It's not fast, but it's not slow. It's just good, and it works, and it's all well. Strong and muscular, and can lose or gain weight with relative ease. Hourglass women can be included in this as well. So you might have a like athletic build where you're quite lean and muscular, or you could be like a little bit more feminine with that hourglass kind of look. Now, literally say less, because we know now why this is God's favorite, because this is the one just in between the other two, that just kind of got it all. Kind of just got all the good bits of the other two. And one thing that I will say about this is, a lot of the time you won't find someone that is just a pure mesomorph. Now there is, I can think of a few off the top of my head, but a lot of the time what you'll find is you kind of mix between a few of them. So for myself, I used to think I was a mesomorph, right? But then upon doing this podcast episode and digging deeper and actually learning more and doing more research, I don't know, because I'm not athletically built. I'm not, right? And some people listening might be like, well, maybe you are. No, I'm not. Okay, right. I myself I know I am a naturally curvy, chunkier gal. Now, I weight train and I eat good, and I do a lot of things within my lifestyle that helps me not gain weight easily. But I could gain weight so damn easily if I wanted to. And I learned that very quickly, and my two sisters would be quite the same in that sense. So I did learn that from them too, because they kind of made mistakes that I could learn from. And as well as that, I think I saw those patterns happening, and I knew, okay, I need to keep up a quite active, healthy lifestyle if I don't want to be kind of on the heavier side, and if I don't want to be literally overweight. Now, funnily enough and ironically enough, my BMI would tell me that I'm overweight, but I know I'm healthy and I know I'm in good health. But yeah, if you're just to go off like what you actually weigh for my height, I probably would be overweight, but that's not telling you like the lifestyle that you live and all of the like. So anyone listening actually that is literally worried sick because of their BMI is telling them something, but they live such a healthy lifestyle and they actually are in good health and good shape, do not listen to your BMI. Well, sorry. Okay. You might have to as well for health reasons, but just be careful, because the BMI doesn't take everything that you're doing into consideration either. So just be careful. So yes, we have, sorry, the mesomorph, God's favorite. Everyone wishes for that. And I did used to think that that one's me, because it's that in between hourglass shape. But really, I'm a mix. I'm a mix of mesomorph and endomorph. And I would probably lean more towards endomorph naturally. But because I train and because I eat good and because of my lifestyle, I kind of go between both. So an endomorph is a softer, rounder build, can gain weight really easily, can store fat really easily, and does have a little bit of a slower metabolism. Could be a stockier build, can build muscle, yes, but can also hold fat upon that. and can be curvier and have a fuller look. I would very much so naturally be an endomorph. But I think because of the lifestyle that I live, I train, I eat good, my diet's good, just all around kind of my lifestyle, I do fluctuate kind of between both, and I'm definitely a mix. Um, and this is why I really wanted to say at the start there that this isn't something that like you hold as a badge. So I don't want anyone listening to this being like, yeah, I'm an endomorph. So that's why I gain weight. Yeah, I'm an endomorph and I have a slow metabolism. So just can't do anything about it. Because yes, you can. Because I would naturally be an endomorph and I would gain weight extremely easy. And if I wanted to, I could be absolutely, I could be overweight. I could definitely gain weight and go into a place where I don't train, I don't eat good, I don't look after myself, I do live a slower paced lifestyle. And I know that that would be probably detrimental to my health because of the body shape that I hold, because of what I know about my body and who I am. So do know that this is not something to just say, oh, well, I'm an endomorph, so I'm just not going to do anything because I have a slow metabolism, so whatever. No, no, there's things that you can do and that we all know that we can do to help. The same with being, say, an ectomorph. Don't just say to yourself, oh, well, I have a really fast metabolism, so I'm just never going to build any muscle, so I don't care. No, this is the thing. We can work on ourselves, we can better ourselves, and we can be in a better position with our physique and with our bodies through training, nutrition, and lifestyle, and everything else that we do on a day to day basis. We just have to be willing to put in the work. And some, it's going to be easier for some, harder for others. It's going to take a little bit longer for some, and a little bit kind of quicker for others. It really depends, obviously, on your goals, number one. But a massive reason why I wanted to bring this into this episode is because I really, really feel like if you are in tune with the body shape that you actually are, you can set out more realistic goals then, and actually set out more realistic goals working with your body and your body type rather than like literally just being like, I want to be skinny. Because personally, okay, as I said, I would lean naturally more towards an endomorph. I would be more curvy, I would be fuller, and I would be a stockier build, 100%. But because, as I said, with training, with nutrition, and all of that, I can help that. And also, I can use it to my advantage. Like, I definitely have a bigger bottom half, I have a bigger bum, and I have bigger kind of legs and quads, and my waist would be smaller. I use that to my advantage, and I really tap into that body shape and enhance it. I don't want to lose loads and loads of weight and look small and skinny and thin because it wouldn't suit me. It wouldn't suit me. It doesn't suit my body shape. And I think a lot of people don't actually realize that you weren't born to be skinny and thin. Some people are, and some people that really, really suits them and they look really good. Their health isn't being affected by it. They still train, they still like live a really, really healthy, proactive lifestyle, eat well and everything of the likes, not depriving themselves of food, but they're just naturally skinny and thin, and that is fine. And then there's people that wouldn't be naturally on that kind of scale, and they're like forcing their bodies to get into these sizes and to get into these zones and into these shapes. And that's when it becomes unhealthy because you're literally eating nothing. You're training hours upon hours of cardio, say. This is what happens to the best of us because we don't know, because we're not educating ourselves on our bodies. Literally, that's what's going on here. We're doing hours on hours upon cardio. Sorry, let me say that again because that didn't make any sense. We're doing hours upon hours of cardio, and we aren't actually looking after our health. So our periods maybe go missing, and we are losing a lot of muscle mass as well as body fat. And that's when it doesn't look good. That's when we start looking unhealthy. And that's when we are actually playing with our health as well. Because we're not meant to be that small. Like a lot of us aren't actually meant to be that small. There is some people that are and actually just have naturally that body shape. And that's all good. That's all good as well. But I feel like we really need to learn more about our bodies and our body types and shapes so that we can understand that more. We can set out more realistic goals and we can use it to our advantage. If you have a curvier build, girl, use it. Who doesn't want a small waist and big glutes? Oh my God, if you have that, use it to your advantage. Why are you trying to shrink yourself? I actually had a post up the other day on my Instagram. So if you have me on Instagram, go and have a look at that, where I am literally stating that fact that I was trying to chase being skinny for so long. And I was just like, I need to be smaller, I need to be smaller, I need to be smaller. And even I was literally eating near nothing. I was putting myself through all these fad diets. I was going through all these weird toxic diets and kind of lifestyles for absolutely no reason, because yes, I would lose weight and I was quite thin, but I still wasn't like the smallest person in the room. I still had a bum and I still had bigger bottom half compared to my waist, say, because that's naturally my body shape. I couldn't get rid of that. And I was trying so hard to. And honestly, now I'm like, why on earth was I doing that? Because I actually am quite proud of my body shape. I'm proud to be curvier. I'm proud of my smaller waist, bigger hips, like all of that. And now I'm actually just trying to work with that and trying to enhance that. And that has what has truly worked for me. That's been realistic. That's been something that I've been able to hold up and be accountable for and use and enhance and work towards in a lot healthier of ways. So, yes, these are obviously within our life and within phases of life as well. Our bodies can change. And this is actually something that I don't think a lot of people know. Our hormones obviously contribute to a lot that goes on in our bodies. And I hear it a lot as well that people will say, I grew up so thin, so small, so skinny. I was just naturally skinny, naturally a fast metabolism, and all of this. And then they'll say, and then I turned about 22, 23, and I started gaining weight like there was no tomorrow. It's like as if it all caught up on me. That's your hormones. That's your body's natural response to nearly wanting to reproduce. Okay. I'm not saying that like you have to reproduce. I'm saying that it's like your body and your hormones' natural response. It starts changing your body a little bit so that you are in a position where it's healthy and it's feeling good and it's feeling safe to reproduce. I went through this time as well. My body was completely different from the ages of 18 to about 23. And from about 23 to about 28, I did notice my body was in like prime state. It was actually amazing. But because I was dieting and exercising and my lifestyle was quite active, I didn't notice it too much. But if you're someone that, wasn't in the gym or isn't kind of eating right and all of that, you will notice your body change drastically in those periods of time, because you might say gain more weight quicker. You might, your hips will widen, and you might, gain more body fat in certain areas, especially around your hips, your arms, your lower tummy. And you're nearly fighting against that because you think it's your fault. You think like, now look, it, you might be eating more. You might be in a calorie surplus. You might be eating more. A lot of the time it is that your hormones are changing as well. You can help yourself though. You can get your nutrition in check. You can get your actual diet in check and your lifestyle in check, and it will help you. But yes, your body does change as you go through life and as your body then starts to seek out reproduction. I've actually noticed myself in the past year, my body has changed massively again. So I'm 29, turning 30. And over the past year, my body's changed massively. And I know it's down to the fact that it's like, bitch, we want to reproduce. We want what's going on. It's not even that it's like we want to, it's just like it's a natural thing to seek, because as women, like that's just our natural way. Like it's just naturally going to want to reproduce. Your cycle, your hormones, they're all working together in your body. And I can feel that my hips have gotten bigger. I can feel that I'm gaining weight easier. I can feel these things happening. My bum has gotten bigger. And I'm like, that's so funny. I've tuned into it so much because I'm like, I know that's because the period of time that I'm in life, it's science, it's facts that women's bodies do go through cycles and phases. And my body is just like, okay, like we're giving you an amazing place now to home and birth a child, and very grateful for that. But that is what happens, and that can happen. So a lot of the time, and I always hear that people do go through life maybe having a fast metabolism, being smaller, being thinner, and then maybe their bodies change as they grow and as they get older. And that can happen. It can be down to your lifestyle and your diet. So please know that you might need to change up your lifestyle and your diet. And a lot of the time, you do need to change your lifestyle and diet to actually work with you and to enhance and actually make yourself just feel better and your shape to be in a better position and all of that, and confidence. We know ourselves. But it does happen that our hormones can change how we look, and obviously the phases and cycles that our bodies go through as women as well. Diet helps, of course. Nutrition helps majorly. Nutrition is number one. Nutrition is number one. That's why I cannot stand when people say, I don't have time. You don't have to go to the gym. Change your nutrition then. Do you know what I mean? Like you have time to eat better. You have time to eat better. You also have time to go out and get some steps in. Like I know you do. I know you do. Okay. So yes, there is a lot of things to unpack and digest there on body types and on kind of what happens throughout a women's kind of cycle and phase. And if there's a woman's, if there's any questions there, please always fire my way. Like that's like, please, that's what I'm here for. I love doing this. I love chatting, as we can tell. Anyway, how does this tie in though to body image, right? How does this tie into body image? Well, let's think of it like this. We are all constantly trying to shove ourselves into one specific body type and shape because that's what we grew up with. We all grew up wanting to be thinner and smaller and just as small as we could be and shrink ourselves and just to be tiny. Just to be tiny little fairies. That's what we grew up with, because we grew up with people in magazines, on telly, and just visually always looking at people that wear that shape. So we're all trying to cram ourselves into one section when we all don't fit in there. Okay, some people do. Some people are naturally small, as we know. We know that now. Some people are naturally kind of athletic and naturally lean, as we know. And some people are naturally curvier, chunkier, and rounder, as we know. Okay, it's easier for some to lose weight, easier for some to gain weight. And that's something we need to take into consideration. But with that being said, we don't use it as an excuse. I've said that a few times. We're never using it as an excuse. We're actually just using it to our advantage. And we're using it to be able to actually create goals and get towards goals and to be able to enhance the body shape that we have. Okay, that's very important. We are literally always trying to shove ourselves into certain clothes, certain trends, and certain kind of ideas of what we should be or shouldn't be. And this is a massive one because body image is obviously very closely linked to clothes. Body image is very closely linked to clothes. And let's be real. Hands up if you've ever been personally victimized by a pair of jeans. Me. I have been personally victimized by a pair of jeans too many damn times in my life. Can I please just say? It has probably had me crying more than any boy or man has ever. Because what on earth is going on with jeans these days, firstly, but as well, the different types of jeans. My body shape, and I hope everyone listening to this takes this in, because everyone's the same, but I'm going to use myself as an example. But I want you all to be taking this in and realizing this for your own self. My body shape is not going to fit in to every single style of jeans. Can we all hold hands and say that to ourselves? My body shape is not going to fit into every single style of jeans, every single type of dress, every single type of top, every single type of long trousers, short trousers, or shorts, summer clothes, winter clothes. My body isn't going to fit and suit every single type of clothing. And that is okay. The quicker you realize your body shape and what actually makes it look good, what makes it feel good, what makes it enhanced and in a better position, makes you feel more confident, the better. Because a lot of us are just trying to force things upon our body shapes, and it's just like, nah. That's why we don't look good. That's why we don't feel good. And that's why we have a negative body image, because we think, oh my God, these mom jeans don't fit me. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm the most disgusting thing on earth. I'm a beached whale. When really the mom jeans just don't suit you. Just try on a different pair of jeans that actually will suit you. And that is something that I've really had to work on, because I'm taking jeans as an example and I'm taking myself as an example. But if I go into a shop and I take up 5 styles of jeans and try them on, not every one of those 5 styles is going to suit me. I might try on a pair of mom jeans, disgusting. I know already, they just don't suit me whatsoever. I've also never found a pair that actually fit me. So that's gone in the bin. And if I based my values and if I based how I looked and my confidence upon mom jeans, you best believe I would be in bed crying every single day of my life. I would be on a treadmill running, eating less, doing everything I could to lose weight because I would think that I am just fat and ugly and disgusting because those mom jeans told me so, when really the mom jeans just don't suit me. They just don't suit my shape of body, and that's fine. Then I could try on skinny jeans. I love skinny jeans. Skinny jeans are something that suit me and we need to bring them back, okay? Low rise skinny jeans, absolutely not. Low rise skinny jeans do not suit, okay? And I could put on a pair of those and then also feel like the ugliest version of myself. But is it me? No, a lot of the time it's the style of jeans that I'm actually trying on. Do we get what I'm trying to say here? Baggy jeans are actually all right, but yet again, I'm any other jeans except for skinny jeans that come in waist and length. Do you know the ones that come in waist and leg kind of sizing? Any other type of jeans that don't do that, like I'm yet to find a pair that suit me. Shorts do not suit me. Okay, denim shorts specifically do not suit my body shape. And I've really had to come to terms with that and be fine with that. And do you know what? I am. Because then there's other things that do suit me. Maxi dresses, amazing. Longer style dresses, amazing. Because I have an hourglass figure, so showing off that kind of silhouette is amazing. My legs are not long at all. My dad used to always make a joke with me as I was growing up, being like, oh, you should sue the council for putting the pavement too close to your arse, because my legs are so small. And look, we grew up in a family where we could all give it and take it, so that wasn't offensive whatsoever. But you know, my legs are tiny, like they really aren't long, and I am no model. And that's okay because I work with that. I get clothes and I wear things that suit that because I'm in tune with things that suit me and don't suit me. And that makes me feel confident then when I wear things that actually suit me. So it's very important that you are taking this all in and realizing that maybe you've yet to actually find what suits you, or maybe you do know what suits you, and sometimes you veer off that. Sometimes you veer off track into a different lane, and then that makes you feel like shite. And you just realize, actually, that just doesn't suit me, and it doesn't suit my body, and that's okay. And that's a massive thing to take in with your body image, because negative body image is very close to clothes, and it's very, I feel like it ties in massively with the clothes you wear and how you feel in clothes and all of that. But it is also a massive thing of not actually knowing your own body shape and what suits you, and that you're holding your body shape and your body type to like its highest potential. And that's very important as well. You're not trying to just chase a smaller body type. You're trying to enhance the one you have. You're trying to better the one you have and hold it to its fullest potential, the body shape that you have, not that you wish you have, because that's not going to do anything. That's literally not going to do anything whatsoever. Okay, and I'm glad that we're all listening to this. But yes, another thing that we all need to know this, right? We aren't meant to look the same. And this is massive to come out of this episode as well, because we're not meant to look the same. We were not manufactured to look the same. How boring would that be if we all just looked the same? And as much as we have been fed that being smaller and skinnier and tinier is like the best thing ever, it's not. It's just that that's what we were shown and that was pushed in our faces. And God bless us all. Like, honestly, God bless us all. What we should be doing and what we should be tuning into is, okay, well, how can I dress myself to actually look my best? How can I train and diet and have my lifestyle so that I'm holding my body to its fullest potential and I feel the most confident version of myself? How can I enhance what I have and really work with what I have instead of working against it? We have just been fed and thrown to the wolves with regards to women's kind of version and outlook on how they should be. And that's not how it was meant to be. When we take it back, right? When we take it way back to literally hunter gatherers time, like way back when, Stone Ages I'm talking about here. Every woman looked completely different. I can guarantee they weren't all going around being like, oh, I'm so fat. I'm so fat and disgusting. And Melissa over there is so skinny and stunning. No, because they didn't know any different. They just knew that they all looked different and they were meant to look different. There wasn't mirrors for them to pick themselves apart. There wasn't social media for them to all go in and compare themselves and to see what someone else looks like and what's going on. Also, there wasn't magazines telling them that this is how they should look, and there wasn't models on runways telling them how they should look, and this was the idea of health and wellness, and this is what they should be doing and how they should look, and this is what kind of, men love, and this is what women love. No, there was none of that. It was just how they perceived themselves and how they looked after themselves and held themselves up on a higher pedestal. And we need to start doing more of that. We need to bring it back to Stone Ages, okay? We need to bring it way back there, because when I picture women back then, they are confident and literally loving themselves. They are having a good time and they're not even thinking about their bodies in that way, because there was nothing to lead them to believe that they were bad or that their body wasn't the way it was meant to be, you know? And that's something I think about sometimes. And I'm like, God, it really is society's fault. It is. It's the toxic and negative ways of society that has led us as females, and as a cultural, like, kind of movement and shift into this world anyway, and social media. And it's the negatives of that and the toxicana of that has led us to here. Because this definitely didn't exist way back when. And the negative body image and all of the likes, it didn't exist. Not at all. I will not believe it. My clients anyway, and their mindsets, a massive thing that I do with them is I really try and rewire and rewrite their narrative into enhancing their body and working with what they have. A lot of women will come to me and say, I want to lose weight. And a lot of the time there is weight there to lose. But I don't think a lot of them know that they don't actually need to lose as much as they think they do to be healthy, to be fit, to be healthy, to be confident. And I have yet to meet anyone who has come to me and who has lost weight and felt confident in all of the likes and said, God, I wish I was skinnier. Honestly, never. You have an idea in your head, and when you come to me, I'm there trying to rewire and rewrite that so that we're working with our bodies and that we're enhancing our bodies and that we are learning about our bodies and what they actually need. Now, having goals is very important. And a lot of the time, yes, there is body fat maybe to be lost, muscle to be gained. There's phases and journeys, and there's so much to go through. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes hard work. And my clients, they ain't lazy because they are doing what they need to do and they're sticking to the plan. And they are going through these journeys and through these phases and they're doing what they need to do. But along that, they're also rewriting their narrative and they're also rewiring their brains and their mindsets. So they know pretty damn well how to be confident within their body. They know what their body needs. They know the goals that are actually appropriate and what they need to be doing to get there. And that's very, very important. Some major tips that I would give you when it comes to body image is, this is so cliche and this is so, I know that you all probably know this one, because if you don't, you're living under a rock. Speak to yourself more positively. Speak to yourself how you would speak to your friend, your sister, your mom. Would you ever turn around to your friend and say, ew, you look so fat today? Ew, you look really ugly today. Ew, you need to put makeup on. Ew, your hair's rotten. Okay, maybe when you're in a fight with your sister, you might say random things like that. But out of love and care, you would never say that to someone you love and someone you care about. And you should love and care about yourself. So why are you turning around to yourself and saying, ew, you look so ugly today. Ew, you're disgusting. Ew, your hair's rotten. Ew, your eyebrows need to go like this or that. Ew, you need to put makeup on. Ew, those jeans are absolutely violent on you. Like, why would you ever turn around and say that to yourself? Because you should love and care for yourself. And if anyone's listening here on the podcast, if anyone's obviously watching on YouTube and you're taking all of this in, I really, really hope that hits home. You would never turn around to someone you love and care about and tell them that they look ugly or that they look fat or that they look disgusting or that you don't like something about them. So why are you turning around to yourself and saying that? Because your inner dialogue is so damn important. The relationship you have with yourself and your own mindset is the one you live in. You live in that relationship and in that mindset every damn day. And you're putting yourself through those negative thoughts and those toxic thoughts every day of free will, because you can change it. You're doing that of free will. You can change it. If you choose to change, you can change it. So please remember that. Drop the perfectionism. Okay. A lot of the time we all have this picture of like, oh, I have to lose 10 kg. Oh, I have to eat this. I have to do that. I have to train this. I do this amount of cardio, or the perfectionism of how your body should look. Drop that. Aim to just be fitter, stronger, healthier, more confident, feeling good. Aim for that. Everything else is an added bonus. Can I please just say, drop the perfectionism, because you're never going to get there. I'm sorry to tell you, okay? You're going to get to a stage where you feel better, you're more confident, you're healthier, your cardio is better, you're fitter. You're going to get to all of those stages. But I can guarantee you're never going to get to that perfect version of yourself that you think exists, because we all have this weird idea of what's perfect and this distorted version of reality of what's perfect. And that's why we're never going to get there, unfortunately. Like me trying to say, okay, I want to be 40 kg and I want to be thin, skinny, and small. That's never going to happen. It can happen, but it's never going to happen without me being in a serious health, having serious health issues, losing my period, without me literally looking frail and tired, my sleeping pattern being gone, without me literally eating the bare minimum. I would not be fueling myself properly. I would have to be running marathons every day as well, to be losing that extreme amount of weight and to be that small. So yeah, it's doable, but at what cost? Literally at what cost? And that's very, very important. Drop the comparison, okay? Because comparison really is the thief of joy, and it's also the thief of your progression. You could have made all of the progress in the world. You could have been having the best day, the best week. You could have had literally everything going right. And then you'll go onto social media, or you'll see one of your friends and you'll be like, oh my God, Emma looks amazing today. I feel like shit. Because you're comparing yourself to Emma, and then all of your achievements, all of your good things, all of the amazing things that are going on in your week and your wins and your goals are gone down the drain because of one simple thing. Why are you comparing yourself to Emma? Emma doesn't care what you're doing. Emma is very much so in her own lane doing what she needs to be doing. That's why Emma's doing amazing, because she's having a good time. You need to literally get back in your car, steer into your own lane on the M50, and you're good to go. Okay? Drop the comparison. It happens every now and again, and I get that. And it can still trickle into the day. What you need to do is you need to notice you're doing it, and you need to put a pin in it, and you need to leave it there. And then we need to move on. Because it does happen. It happens to me as well, where I'll look at someone and be like, oh my God. And I'm like, I need to catch myself doing it. I need to say stop. And literally, I need to move on. Another one that I like is the 3-second rule. As soon as you think of something negative on yourself or with yourself, so say, for example, I'm sitting here and I might say, oh my God, I hate my hair. 3 seconds, 1, 2, 3. I actually really love how white my teeth are today. There we go. 3-second rule. As soon as you say something negative about yourself or toxic about yourself, give yourself 3 seconds and say something you like. It might be something like, I love my nails. It might be something like, oh, I love that I love the tan. I love my fake tan. Literally, I'm trying to think of something really, really simple. I love my eyelashes. I love how I talk. I love how I communicate. Doesn't have to be about how you look. I love how funny I am. I love my friends. Just like turning that negativity around into something grateful and into something positive. Another thing to really remind yourself is that we all have flaws. The people that you're looking up to, maybe comparing yourself to, or the people that you think that are perfect and you see online, they have flaws too. They have things that they don't like about themselves. They have things that maybe they're not really very confident about, but they work on and that they get over. I'm going to take obviously myself as an example, which I always do, but I always want you to think of yourself in these scenarios. I have flaws, obviously. Obviously, I have flaws, as if we don't know that. And a lot of imperfections. And I have a lot of things that I don't necessarily love about myself. But I have learned to not think of them in a bad light and in a toxic way. For example, I have no boobs, guys, like 0, 0, 0. Itty bitty titty committee. Like I am the leader, I am the captain, I am the pilot of that ship. Okay. And for a long time, that actually did consume my entire life, where I felt so self-conscious about it and I just could not ever like wear anything that would show that off. I used to actually stuff tissue down my bras. I used to wear bras too big for me, so it looked like I had more there and more padding there. And it did consume me for a very, very, very long time until I actually just gave into the fact that I have no boobs. And what? It's not hurting anyone. It's not hurting me. And I'm fine with that. And I just live with it and I get on with it. So that's the thing. These people with all the confidence in the world, they still have things that they might not like or they might not like necessarily rage about. And they do have imperfections and they do have flaws, but they get on with it. And they actually enhance their actual their good things and the sides that they do love and their kind of, better areas. So for me, I always knew, okay, well, I have big glutes, so let me work on that. You know what I mean? Let me work on my physique. If I can't go to the gym and grow my boobs, let me go to the gym and work on other areas that I can actually work on and that I can actually give a bit of emphasis to. So, stop focusing on the flaws and the imperfections because everyone has them. But the people that you see that are the most confident versions of themselves and living their life in the most confident of ways are the people that aren't actually giving into their flaws and that are focusing on the good and the higher kind of areas and the not better areas, but on the things that they do love and the things that they do appreciate. A massive thing that I do want to end this all on is the fact that it is up to you to change. Okay? No one's going to change your mindset for you. No one's going to wave a magic wand. I wish I could, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, no. It shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be the case of someone waving a magic wand and someone giving you a magic pill and someone doing something simple for you. It shouldn't be easy, and you shouldn't want to be taking the easy route and doing these easier options, fad diets, and all of these things that you see that might make it a little bit quicker. You should want to put in the time and effort and work on yourself. You should want to do these hard things and these challenges to grow who you are, your character, who you are as a person, and actually go through the process and step into your most confident, highest self. You should want to put in the hard work and the effort and to actually feel like you've achieved something and to actually feel like you have done this off your own back and your time and you've really given it all you can. Why don't you want to do that? So yes, it is up to you to choose to change. You can change your narrative, your mindset, your physique, and who you are, your confidence. You can change those things. If you have those goals, let's do it. Let's absolutely get up and do it. And if you're already on that journey and you're already doing it, I am so damn proud of you. Thank you so, so much for listening today. If you have gotten this far, I genuinely love you all so much. I love having you all here. I'm so grateful for you all. Literally every single episode, I'm so, so grateful. I absolutely loved this episode. I think genuinely it's going to be one of my favorites now. It's going to be up in the top 3 because I loved going through all that and I was genuinely so passionate about it all. Did get a bit of brain fart at the end there, but it's absolutely fine. I just think I've been talking so, so much and I am hungry now. Okay, I'm hungry. So let a girl live. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. I absolutely love and adore you all. I literally love being here. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'm giving you all the love hearts. And if you're listening to me, you can envision the love hearts coming your way. And queens, you already know the drill. If there is ever a day where you are doubting yourself or simply do not believe in yourself, always remember, I am always over here rooting for you. And I'm always over here believing in you.